Hey, Aquarius. Guess what time it is where I am? It's 11:33 when I'm recording this, of course. But there's some magical number combinations that come up. Not that all of them are magical, but the ones that we collectively deem, the 333s and the doubles, the triples, the quadruples. This year, it brings up that a lot. That happens quite often, as far as I've noticed, astrologically. But, before we even get into it, the first parts are going to go out on YouTube, but the second parts, I'm not sure if I'm going to put them out on YouTube, but I'm going to put the first and second part on Patreon from now on moving forward, and that link will be below. So thank you for being here and continuing to watch as we move forward into the new year. Your season comes up, and here the Tower moment for you, having Saturn in your sign. But beyond that, before that, this is about the physical structure. This can be anywhere from the literal physical men in your life. Let me peel it back. Masculine people in your life, the masculine places in your life. This could be work. This could be how you make your money. This could be your values with money. So this is a lot. I know I'm saying a lot of things, but that's what happens when Saturn enters your sign. This is all those things. And regardless if that is the case, even those with you Saturn return, if you're going through your Saturn return, I am too, I understand. This is just about the whole value system. You understand, you see it from the macro to the micro and in yourself, and what is all being put up on the plate right now, what is being risen to your attention to pay attention to, bottom of the deck. What needs to go in order for you to have from 5 to 10? What needs to go, but it's like how do you want to let it go? Some people create rituals. Most things are rituals, but most people create ritual in your life. We'll go there in the second part. In your life, and you've been able to really take a look. For most of you, you've probably been more quiet in your life or in your relationships as these questions come up, because they can bring, especially in this season of let's move forward, let's go, let's not think too much. Not Capricorns can also get in their heads, but before your season comes up, like what actually needs to get done? What is in your control? What is important to address? This even means mentally. If the Tower moment is, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, whatever is happening, and as I say, I'm going to do it because I feel myself from the Capricorn reading, slowing down in the ways that's really necessary for you. What does that look like? Where can you create 5 minutes or different times throughout your day where you can really just slow down? That could even be at a job if you're a type of person that needs to be sometimes doing something in order to absorb or understand that. Like you can be at a job or somewhere where there's not too much going on and you can take a step back, or you can really just be focused and find presence while you're at work with just being there. And that's meditation. Because so much of you wants to go into the future and conceptualize a lot right now. So much of you want to have a solid reasoning for certain things, but you don't. And that's okay, because things are shifting. And this month, it's not about having those answers for yourself or for anybody else. It's about exploring what happens when you go from 5 of Cups to 10 of Cups. It's about being in that experience of like, I'm here. I look around and I'm starting to really put thought or energy into the longevity of my life more than ever. Whether that's, and because of the Cups that are out, I feel like it's emotionally for a lot of you, and how you approach your life and how you respond to your life. That will probably come up in certain ways, but It's a lot to show you how much you've also been able, excuse me, hold on one second. Sorry about that. How much you've been able to handle. And now you're in the season where usually things are coming together. Usually things are building. But for you, in order for that to happen right now anyway, something needs to fall apart. The best part about this is that the past year we've talked a lot about, you know, concept, we're moving you forward, we're getting you there. You've been really taking a look at it because your process is a little longer. When you go into something, everyone gets to where they need to go, as you know. But you really just like enjoy the process of looking all the way around it from like this angle and that angle, and then going into it and seeing it from that angle. But you can get caught in those certain aspects, whether you mean to or not. You can get caught in one of those places for a very long time if you don't allow yourself a deadline. So some of you might feel like you need a deadline, and I'll give you one. Your season. Let yourself this month explore what it's like to feel into a different experience of how you choose to relate with life. Venus is also in retrograde. Bottom of the deck, King of Cups. Funny. For most of you, from then going right into your season, it's very clear. Everything becomes very clear. And actually, this is so simple, and I love this. And I'm going to just keep this as it is. We're going to keep this king out, and you're going to love the second part and the way it looks. Whether you realize it or not, this month is like a crash course in what's to come down the road. And it's not going to be, it's not a time to grade yourself. It's not a time to put any type of concrete decision on how you feel about what is happening in the present moment. It's just about being in the present moment. It's about engaging what's going around, not only around you, but what you're feeling. Because what a lot of people don't know about you, for those of you watching for an Aquarius, is that they feel a lot. They feel it, and they feel it to the height. You can probably, if you know them well enough, and most people don't, but if you know them well enough, and they're not hard to read just like Capricorns, but there is this different and very beautiful alien-esque quality about them, about you guys, and for those of you watching for them, is that they know how to have compassion, but some of them hold on to it too long, where then it becomes like it can bridge on the borderline of apathy. So what you need to understand about them is that when they dissociate, it's because they know that when they do actually come to the point where they feel it all, it's to the height of it. They're so sensitive for the most part, depending on, again, the kind of Aquarius that they are. But for most of you, so Aquarius is coming to the end of the month, this is all going to come together. It's going to be like a sweep. So we have the Tower and then the Ace of Swords, King of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. It's going from rough edges to smooth edges this month. And you would think that would take a lot longer, considering how you feel and how you feel about where you're at. But by the time you get to the end of the month and how smooth certain parts turn out, and it's like, if you've ever learned about how like swords are made, or metal, or that kind of metal is made, it needs to go through this crazy burning process. It needs to have a whole lot of heat around it. So that heat for you is depending on how hot you want to put that light on yourself. It's like, this light is, shining on me. It's almost like you're in that like detective spot where that, in the movies where they have the light on you and they make it super dramatic. And that's how you can feel, like in that spotlight, but it's like with yourself and your inner world. don't be afraid to share that inner world with someone that you really care about. It could be this King of Pentacles, King of Cups situation, this Queen of Cups situation. Don't be afraid to share. This is different this time. This Venus retrograde, even aside from that, it's just a time to be able to share these vulnerabilities with someone in your life or a few people in your life. Whether or not they can completely understand, they can bring something valuable to you, even if it's just listening to you, or sharing with people when it's necessary, especially if you have to interact with them or if you have to work with them in any capacity. Like, hey, this is something I've learned in coaching, but it's also it's spoken in other different forms of study, just without the words, where you clear your energy or you do a clearing. So it's like, for me, when I'm working with people or I'm in a certain way or something, like maybe something emotional comes up before work. This happened recently, and for those of who I'm working closely with, I'll just say to them, like, if I come off any type of way, it's not you, it's me. Something came up before work and I can't, I'm only human. So it's not about you right now. I just, like, I need you to know that. In essence, what I'm saying is I'm protecting myself right now. I need this kind of protection. I need my energy for myself. So whatever else I have to give, it's for the people in the service that I do, that I need to give it to. Those are the people that get it first. And not that I'm going to be mean to you or, usually that makes me actually feel a lot softer and nicer when someone knows where I'm at. So I'm being very transparent with them without giving them total detail of my life. And I just think it's a great way. And if you need that this month, just being really transparent with people, because things will be taken in many different ways. And you just want to have that clear for yourself. Like, if you need your time, you need your space even longer, you just need to be clear about that. And people who know you get that boundary from you without talking to you. And I know that that's not where we're at right now in the day of communication. But again, spoken in energy, when you're someone who's energetically connected to, I have people like that. There are Aquariuses I know like that. Hey, it's because we mutually know that there's something going on and you just need that time, or even I do. It is what it is. Or for those of you who know Aquariuses, you just have to understand that this is how they communicate, and they care, but they don't care enough normally to always inform you. That's just not how they are. And that's just something to understand about them. And so for you this month, it's just like a very clear molding. How it's like from the beginning stages to the product, and there's still going to be a lot to learn, a lot to do, but you're sharpening a very important skill this month, and it's important to focus on that. And if you need energy and time and space, especially in the time we're in now, depending on how you celebrate your life, holidays or whatever is going on, just know that it's okay, and that you, again, this 10 of Cups is what's on your mind. That's what's really prominent for you right now. So know that it's okay. So the second part of this will be on Patreon. The first and second part will be on Patreon probably before this comes out. Thank you for being here, for watching, and I love you, Aquarius, and we'll see you in your season.